So we now bring up to the podium the Honorable Minister of Information and National Orientation for his address.
May I very respectfully invite Alhaji Mohammed Idris, fmnipr, to the podium for his address.
Thank you very much. Your Excellency, the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Right Honorable Tajuddin Abbas, Your Excellency, the former Governor of Ogun State, our uncle, our father, Chief Shogun Oshoba. I was asking Chief Oshoba when his next birthday will be, and he said it's going to be in about 3 months. Chief Shogun Oshoba will be 86, and he's kicking. I was just telling him that I pray that in the next 30 or less than years, I should look good like this and be able to come to this kind of event. We thank God for your life and what you have offered to this country. The special advisors to the President, Mr. Bayo Onanuga, Mr. Sunday Dari, my older brothers here, the former ministers of Information and National Orientation, some ministers of Information and Culture, some supervising minister, but what is key is that they were both, at one time or the other, ministers of information for Nigeria. I'm glad that the NIPR has found it worthy to bring all of them together. Only recently, I was advised to take counsel from my predecessors, and I'm glad that they're here. Outside the clinic, we're also going to have a dinner with them tonight, and I'm sure it's going to be a night of revelation for them. Thank you, my immediate predecessor, Uncle Lai Mohammed. I saw that when he was introduced, there was some applause here. He is, no doubt, the longest serving Minister of Information for Nigeria. And you can say so many things, but there are two key things that we will continue to remember about Mr. Lai Mohammed. In 2018, he led Nigeria to host the International Press Institute here in Abuja, the first of that kind of gathering to ever happen. It's a collection of all the media leaders of the world, and they came to Nigeria here in 2018. Second, Mr. Lai Mohammed also started the journey for the hosting by Nigeria of the media and information literacy by UNESCO. That journey started a few years ago, and I am following that through, and hopefully by October of this year, Nigeria will become the host of the first ever, the world over, of the Media and Information Literacy Center to be, it's a Category 2 UNESCO Media and Information Literacy Center to be hosted by Nigeria. The Director General is here, Senior Special Assistants, the President of the NIPR. I don't know where he gets his energy from. Every time he comes to the office, he's full of ideas. He's doing something or the other. So most of the time, the minister is actually playing a catch-up game with the president of the NIPR. I'm glad that you recounted the experiences of my predecessors, what they went through. And I know that in the last couple of days, you know, you are also witnessing some of my own experience here as Minister of Information and National Orientation. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I am delighted to welcome all of you to the second edition of the Spokespersons Summit, a brainchild of the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations and one of Nigeria's most successful and enduring professional associations. Over the years, the NIPR has evolved as a compelling imprimatur for practitioners of public relations, creating a well-regarded tent for the enhancement of skill sets of Nigerians in PR practice, in tandem with international best practices. It is in this regard that I would like to profusely appreciate the leadership and management of the NIPR led by Dr. Ikeneliaku and all the state chapters for their untiring effort in sustaining the Institute as a foremost professional association. Looking through the list of esteemed speakers and their assigned topics for discussion at this year's summit, I am delighted by the assortment of themes, all aimed at the improvement of PR practice towards the attainment of national cohesion, unity, and economic growth. I see amongst us today a constellation of media and PR stars, notably, as I said earlier, former ministers of information, doyens of the PR industry, exceptional spokespersons, media executives, and, of course, the young shall grow. And I must say that the only NIPR manages to achieve all this at the same time. I must therefore singularly, once again, thank you, Mr. President, the President of the NIPR, for putting this together. I'm also not forgetting the studious efforts of past presidents of the NIPR for their dedication and commitment towards the upliftment of the Institute in this country. May God bless all of you. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, I want to seize the opportunity of this summit of fellow professionals to draw our attention to the need to brace up and embrace what is called the media information literacy, a composite concept first adopted by the United Nations, UNESCO, in 2008, and which combines the competencies of information literacy and media literacy together. Today, in a world where everyone is a spokesperson, whether a PR practitioner or a chief executive in the public and private spaces, it is imperative for the media to be ever more present as it equips individuals with the tools to decipher, analyze, and evaluate messages conveyed through various media channels, enabling the latitude to make informed decisions and engage with media content responsibly. Very lately, due to lack of media literacy in this country, especially, the inability to analyze and contextualize media content in order to verify authenticity, public officers, and indeed the general public have become prone to the cankerworm of fake news, misinformation, and disinformation. I will give you a story. While I was at UNESCO discussing the menace of fake news with the Assistant Director General for Information and Communication at UNESCO headquarters in Paris only a few days ago, someone sent me a clip of something that was already going viral in Nigeria. Initially, I thought it was only one of those things that you see. But before I left UNESCO premises, an irony, I had gone there to discuss fake news and its impact, its ability to create serious problem for any society. I was, at that time, also receiving my own share of what fake news could do. What began as a very simple commentary by the official spokesperson of government was turned on its head, and then I saw something else emerging. Not even the clarification by my own office to ensure that people get the right messaging and to inform that this was actually what was put out. No one wanted to listen. This tells you what fake news, disinformation can do, even to very senior people in government. We have to watch that very carefully so that it doesn't tear this country apart. The Prime Minister of Information Media is the first of its kind in the world, which, like I said, will be cited in Abuja in the precincts of the National Open University. In fact, I've just returned from Paris, where I held meeting with senior UNESCO officials in which the impending takeoff of the institute featured very prominently. We do hope that the sighting of that institute here will help us to curb the menace of fake news, disinformation, and misinformation. As Minister of Information and National Administration, I try to lead the way in sieving information and critically watching and analyzing before I leap. Steeped in the practice of public relations, one of the first things I did following my appointment was to create a set of 5 pillars to guide the delivery of this national mandate assigned to me by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. It is no coincidence, therefore, that the first of the set of those 5 pillars, the restoration of public trust in government communication. This overlaps extensively with the primary objectives of media and information literacy. Any public officer that does not earn the trust, like the president of the NIPR has said, if you don't earn the trust of those who are listening to you, the message is lost. Therefore, I took it as my duty to ensure that we restore trust in public communication. I believe that that is what you need. You must be believable, you must say it honestly and convincingly, but you must also be very patriotic, because at the end of the day, it is a duty to Nigeria that all of us must keep. As part of my efforts to deepen professional practice and improve the quality of engagement in the delivery of public communication, the Prime Minister of Information and National Orientation last year succeeded in the caderization of public relations in the civil service. I don't know how the president of the NIPR missed this. What this means is that public relations has now been designated as a stand-alone cadre in the federal civil service. I know we have been in this struggle the last 20 years. With effect from 2023, what used to be known as Information Officer cadre has now been redesignated to Information and Public Relations cadre and Executive Officer. Let me add that the NIPR was a key advocate in achieving this enhanced recognition that public relations now enjoys within the federal civil service. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, one of the outstanding features of this year's Spokespersons Summit is the Information Ministerial Clinic, where our esteemed former ministers, I'm glad that I'm seeing about 6 of them here today, have agreed to serve in as lecturers, so to say, to our younger ones, to impart knowledge of what the role and duties of a spokesperson should be. I wish all my predecessors the best as they share their unique and insightful stories, while I look forward to telling my own story in the future. I will close by emphasizing the commitment of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu administration to free speech and responsible creative expression. I'm emphasizing that free speech, responsible creative expression. You cannot take one and leave the other. While it is absolutely critical for democracy to allow freedom of expression, free speech, it is also incumbent of those who are carrying this to ensure that there is enormous responsibility on their shoulders to say it accurately, responsibly, and with a deep sense of patriotism. On our part, we will continue to work to broaden our nation's vibrant media ecosystem and grow the economic and investment opportunities within it. The media in Nigeria is indeed one of the freest, but we must work hard, all of us, to sustain it. I thank you for your kind attention, and it is my singular honor and privilege to declare this second Spokesperson Summit open. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.